He's fast, but he's not like off the charts or any of those things. He's one of those things that you can't really teach that. It seems you can't watch on film. He just has that awareness of the game to make those plays that like other guys, they may never learn that, or it takes them years and years to learn that.
Is it for you going into a game like this? Last year was a shootout. You like those games? You enjoy those two quarterbacks slinging it against each other kind of?
I mean, I don't like when their quarterback is slinging as much on us,
right.
But no, I think on offense. Last year, we were clicking on offense, and those games when it's a shootout, things are going their way on offense, and hopefully we can have those games for us, because really we've had the yardage, but really we haven't scored the points that we want to score, and so hopefully we're just trying to kind of reach the level where you start putting points in the ball a little more now.
Does it feel like this is your kind of first time going through familiar opponents? Is this kind of is it league play that much more fun, because these are guys that they've hit you before, that you've thrown touchdowns over? Is that kind of you enjoy kind of the start of that, because there's something more at stake?
Yeah, exactly, because there's more at stake now. You're in conference. These games really matter. And you see the guys. It's almost like I take notes on all the opponents we play. And so I go and look at my notebook from last year, and you see the same stuff from, hey, this guy did this last year and this coverage, or whatever it is. And they have a new defense coordinator now, but for the most part, it's the same guys, and they pretty much do things the same way.
How thick is that notebook?
Depends on the team. Some teams are pretty exotic what they do. I know Boston College, it was just like ridiculous how much I wrote, just because I was in my first game. I was just writing everything. But kind of depends on the week. How much they do on defense, how many guys are subbed in, really.
Are you the type that if somebody else picked it up, could they even read it, or?
Oh, probably not. It's just little tiny things, little scribbles, and kind of basically doesn't make sense, but I try to make sense of it.
Is it something now you're busting that? Is this the first time busting it out again? Because you're not going to play any of those teams that you played earlier this year again.
Yeah, it's been a while, but that's like I said. Having that where they have a lot of new guys on our defense, but there's some guys that I saw last year, some guys that they're missing as well, but. Kind of having that knowledge, I'll have to go back and basically do the extra work again. I can see that and kind of review it for myself, and kind of basically try to clarify from the tape this year.
We've talked about you and Matt Johnson. I know you don't play against each other, but in some ways, do you compare yourself to the other guy?
Definitely. You see the numbers he's put up. They've been ridiculous the past couple. In the first week of the year, he's throwing over 400 yards a game, and he's a very confident kid. The way he plays, the way he carried himself. As a quarterback, you admire that, and he's made great decisions, and he's been slinging the ball over the field. And coming back off an injury, the way he's played is pretty remarkable.
I apologize if Matt already asked this, but one of the things that did Buffalo in against Bowling Green last week is they couldn't convert in the red zone. That was the thing that you guys struggled with last week. What kind of emphasis do you have? I imagine you emphasize that every week, but especially this week, given how many plays they run and how many points they're going to put up. What's kind of the emphasis for you guys and finishing down there when you get down there?
Exactly. They have a very explosive offense, score a lot of points. And we're hoping our defense does a great job. We're expecting them to do a great job, but on offense, and we have to add to it. We're going to score every time we get the ball, and kind of the red zone. There's a couple times last week and the prior week where we weren't getting the end zone, and kind of for us, because maintain that focus of saying it's almost like I heard somewhere like it's getting down to the 20s is science, and getting into the end zone within the 20s an art. You have to find your ways to get in the end zone, because the windows are smaller, and you kind of have to be tougher, kind of maul guys off the line, or just kind of throw past them in tighter windows, and that's kind of the way to score.
You miss Rod in those situations when he's not out there. It seems like he's a guy that's been effective in there.
Definitely. He's a great leader on our team. He's a tough guy, and kind of not having him out there, certainly hurts, just because he's a guy that he's kind of our little chess piece. We can move around in different ways and kind of hide him here or put him here, just because he creates so many mismatch problems. So it's definitely nice to have him out there, and we're hoping to play this week.
It seems like in the red zone that it's almost that much more, because your receivers can't stretch the same way when you only get that much to work with, and he's a guy that can work in small spaces.
Exactly. Plus, he's tight end, so we put him in the field, and they might match up with a linebacker, and it creates those tough matchups with him. And plus, he's a big, strong guy, and kind of can box out some defenders on him.
You think of red zone, you think of a Gene, because he's so big, but Markin's a guy who, you guys use him in a whole different way, whether it's with the sweep or he can scoot by people in the back of the end zone last week. Is he a guy who can create mismatches a little differently than the guy like Gene, someone that big?
Yeah, someone like Gene is basically you throw the ball to him, and he'll find a way to catch it. With Mark, he's so quick, and it's hard for people to get their hands on him. And so when that play right there, I mean, his man in coverage, and the guy, I mean, really couldn't keep on for that step, and just that one step in the red zone was enough to create enough space with the ball. And that's something that Mark is so good at. I mean, especially with the ball in his hands, where he's a tough guy to get your hands on.
And then, I don't know if you asked this as well. It seemed like Whip was riding you guys a little bit today. After a win, you think that's a thing that kind of expectations get raised? You're going to hear more of that. I know you guys always talk about one. You can't get two without one.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of you can't get two without three. You feel like after a win that kind of microscope is on you guys just a little bit more out here.
I mean, definitely, because getting that win, it took a couple of weeks, but now that we have that and we kind of tasted what it was like to win, it's almost like we have to approach this week the same way that we did last week we had the win. You have to approach it with the same hunger that we had before. And kind of just not change our attitude. I mean, obviously, Bowling Green's a great team, and we have to still kind of approach it. I mean, obviously, it's being in conference. I mean, they're the MAC East champ. I mean, right now they're the kings of the conference. We try to grow from that way.
I guess for you, coming off what's the biggest game of your career, what do you do in practice this week to kind of capitalize that and kind of take the next step this week against Bowling Green when you guys are going to need a lot of production and a lot of points?
Oh yeah, just go out there and practice hard. Go out there and execute, make sure we hit our assignments and be focused. And most of all, just go out here and play as a team and just come out here every day and work hard.
For you, Whip talked to us. He told us about how you moved out to the X for that game. I know you guys have been kind of moving around some pieces offensively. What's changed for you, kind of responsibility-wise? What's stayed the same? Where are you at right now?
I feel like everything's pretty much the same. I feel like playing receiver to playing receiver. It's not just catching the ball. And you got to go out there and block and make sure you open up holes for the running backs and get them lanes to run and score a touchdown. So moving the X or moving the zebra or wherever they want to put me at, I appreciate him for trusting me and giving me the opportunity to go out there and make plays at other positions. But at the end of the day, I still have to do my assignment and still playing receiver at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're one of the guys who they've moved around. They use you in the jet sweep. They do a whole different bunch of, it's the kind of thing where if you're open, Blake's going to find you.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, we got the best quarterback in the country. What can I say? Blake going to always find open man and make sure he makes a good throw and give us the opportunity to make plays. And we got to make those plays when they come.
And from a whole team standpoint, coming off the win, obviously, last weekend, is there, any noticeable change around the team?
Confidence.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we know how good we are. We know what we're capable of doing. It's just about going out there and playing as a team, bringing it all together. We got a great team. We got great guys. And like I tell everybody, we go against the best DBs in the country every week. In Jet, in Kelton. And at the end of the day, when you practice against the best, you're ready for whatever. So our team, I know what we're capable of doing. There's no doubt in my mind that we can go out there and win it all. So.
No, you go ahead.
Just what can you take from last week's game against FIU? There are a couple of missed opportunities you could say on offense. How important will capitalizing on more of those be against Bowling Green?
It's always important to capitalize on mistakes that the other team makes, regardless if it's Bowling Green or the New England Patriots. When they make mistakes, you got to capitalize, regardless of who you're playing. So we definitely got to focus on that this week and capitalize on their mistakes.
It seemed like Whip was chewing you guys out a little bit after a win. I mean, do you feel like expectations raise a little bit, and he's a little harder on you, expects a little more, because he's always talked about how you need to win one to get two, and imagine now it's you need to win two to get three for you guys. You feel like that there's a little bit more expected of you guys?
Definitely. After a win, you always got to stay on your team tough. And Coach, man, the thing about it is sometimes he always tells us, man, he fears that he has more confidence in us than we do in ourselves. And that's, what I'm saying, that's always a great thing to hear your coach say that, but it's also not a good thing because you got to have confidence in the team and have confidence within yourself to go out there and execute. So, but he wants to make sure that we don't get too lackadaisical and too relaxed with this win. So he has to stay on us.